It's costing American women and families, married couples, anywhere from $1,400 to $30,000 per birth just to give birth. And when you look at the cost of daycare, look at this chart, how much the cost of raising a child has gone up with all the expenditures, right? So just hear me out. When we ask the question, then why, if our birth rates are so low in America, they're down to 1.68? That's not even enough to replace the American citizens that are in this country without immigration. So if we have such a low birth rate and families can't afford children, American-born children to American families, then why is it you're allowing illegal aliens to come here and have so many children for free? And don't tell me I'm fascist unless you're willing to watch the entirety of the video. So if you are not trying to replace the population of America with immigrants, then why is it that having babies for American citizens is not free? Just hear me out, folks. This is a real question. Illegal aliens are getting to have their children on American soil at zero cost to them, which is actually costing the American taxpayers a negative $40 billion a year. So my name is Samantha, and let's talk about why you can't have your child for free, but they can. You know, I love when governments tell on themselves. So in case you were not aware, the United States Census Bureau does statistical analysis. In other words, they do predictions based on trends. Trends like this one, where I told you the other day that right now, America has more foreign-born people in it than ever before. Almost 20%. So it's over, currently had made, that said it'd be about 15% at this stage. So I know a lot of people tell you that you're racist for even discussing this. You terrible, horrible American. Go away, white person. Why are you even talking about this? Because this is a country built by Europeans, and like Europe, we are being run over by third world immigrants. So let me tell you what the statistics say. By the year 2060, white Americans will be the minority. We will be the minority in a country that we built, whether you like me saying that or not. By the way, my name is Samantha. This is Starkey Farmstead. I own and operate a 2-acre farmstead debt-free without help from the USDA because they denied me a well again today. And unlike other ethnic and historically oppressed minorities, white people just are expected to work, sit down, and shut up.
Propaganda. It's really odd because you're like, okay, why are you a white person trying to get people to not like white people? And then what you do is you take an early life check. And after that, it all becomes clear. A sign of a high IQ is noticing patterns. So if you're wondering who actually controls your government, if you are interested in learning more and going down those rabbit holes, I suggest you take a look at the early life check, and that will answer basically all of your questions.
Well, we're starting to kind of push back against that. They have even said in this report that I will link in description that more natural born citizens will die. We have less children and we die earlier and more often than foreign born people. Now, if you understand what they're saying, then you have to understand that something is causing American citizens to die at such a high rate. Is it the toxic food that we're fed? Is it the crap they dump from the skies on us? By the way, I'm praying the book will be available for you guys to purchase sometime in June. Growing Under a Poison Sky. It's going to break it down for you if you don't know what I'm talking about with weather modification and geoengineering. It does make you ask the question, what is killing us? Why are we not having children to replace our aging population? What might be the fact that there's a self-perpetuating circle. See, people who have high IQs, we see patterns. They often want to shame us and shut us up, but we're pattern recognizers. And something that I noticed is that once Joe Biden threw open the gates of the southern border and welcomed in Americans, several things happened. Housing costs went through the roof in most major cities. American citizens who had been waiting for HUD housing through the government on government assistance found that their HUD housing wasn't coming through. It was going to the illegal aliens. So self-perpetuating. So as of right now, 30% of construction workers are foreign born. A large percentage of that are illegal aliens. So you have illegal aliens building homes, right? So this is what the left tells us. Well, we need them. They do jobs nobody else will do. They do shoddy jobs. Not even lying to you. You need to dig into it and look at what happens when illegal aliens build neighborhoods. Within 1 or 2 years, go look at what's happening to the houses. They don't know what they're doing. They don't follow the right procedures. But my point is this. So you have these illegal aliens here working. 30% or better across the entire country in construction are illegal aliens, foreign-born people, actors. So they're here. What do they need? They always need housing. So you have to provide housing for the workers. You have to provide jobs for the workers. But if the illegal aliens weren't here, we wouldn't need as many houses that are being built. Do you understand what I'm saying? You let in 30 million in 4 years. That's like 22 million homes or places to sleep, apartments, some form of abode. By the way, if you'd like to support our channel, we were demonetized. Please look in the top of comments. I'm not going to stop, folks. Common sense says the majority of issues we're dealing with, lack of jobs for Americans, taxes are too high, Americans can't find affordable housing, violence in our school, drugs on our streets, no HUD housing for Americans. Well, what happens if you send all the illegals and foreign-born people home? Do you think possibly that maybe, just maybe, things would be better for Americans? Do you want me to tell you what's truly going on with illegal immigration? It's to keep our wages stagnant. They found that the high percentage of illegal aliens do not even have a high school education, like 69%. That's double the average in America. Then they found that in all of the homes where there is an illegal head of household, this many were on government assistance. You're talking about $60+ billion a year in government assistance, which most of them get through their U.S. born children, using them as anchor babies. This should upset you, especially if you're on SSI, if you're on disability, if you're on food stamps, HUD, if you're on retirement, if you're struggling to pay your bills, anything. You can't find a good job. Your kids can't get good money to go to school. Your kids' schools being overrun by foreign-born people that don't speak your language. Educating foreign-born students are costing American citizens $60+ billion a year, folks. This is not a joke. There is nothing good that comes from this many foreign-born actors on our soil at one time. I just saw a fight at a high school, right? I watched one of the guys I watch, and he's showing it. He's like, wow, this looks like white people. There were no white people in that fight. It was all Muslims wearing the full hijab and headgear. Yeah, these people don't know how to behave. They come from the worst places in the world, and you just welcomed them in and rolled out the red carpet and said, don't worry, the taxpayers can pay it, or their children can carry this bill as we remove white people and black people from the picture. Because if you're black and you're still watching, which I'd be shocked, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. You're not estimated to grow at all, but 1% in the next 30 years. Your demographic is 1% growth in 30 years. In 2060, there'll only be 14% black. How many of those will be actual native born blacks and Africans? Who knows? But that should concern you too, friends. So when you put the native population of people, regardless if you're Asian, Latino, I know they want to separate us all, but we are technically all American, correct? When you put those people in a situation they can't get the things they need, they naturally stop having children because that is the correct thing to do. But when you're taking people from third world countries that live in poverty already, they come here. This is like the land of milk and honey. They just keep popping them out. So Muslim women are having 8, 10, 12, starting at the age of 12. You know how it is. And American women are down to 2 or 3 because we simply just can't afford it. You've burdened us with taxes. You know, the mom has to work, the dad has to work. Then our children go into public school and they're brainwashed. They come out half lunatics, hating themselves. If they're black, they feel less than, like they can't accomplish anything, like somehow their race is just crap. If they're white, they feel guilty because somehow their race is just crap. If they're Asian, people pick on them from start to finish. If they're Latino, you know, they feel like their race is crap. You've got them all hating each other. It was not like this in the 70s and 80s. If you weren't a baby or born during that period of time, I'm so sorry, friend. This was an amazing country back then. And I see it happening in Europe. So I just wanted to bring this home because I know a lot of people are not going to do the research for yourself. But not only is the government saying that you die more often and younger and have way less children, so there's going to, you know, since they caused all these issues, they're now going to replace you with foreign-born citizens. And somehow America is going to be better for it, for the diversity, right? I mean, having a bunch of Islamic, insane people in America that hates America is so good for America. Don't believe the crazy white woman with the camera. By the way, YouTube demonetized me because I'm tired of this crap. So I need your help. Look in the top of comments, send what you can. But folks, listen to me. The land of the free is fixing to not be free anymore because you're scheduled to be replaced by 2060. You're welcome.